What's up, everybody? I am Lauren Khalil. We are here inside the NEC for this year's FitFest. Behind me, we have those elite athletes that will be participating in the showcase. But before all that action begins, they are taking some VIP members through a workshop with rowing, gymnastics movements, and of course, a little bit of weightlifting. Earlier today, though, the three teams, they got together to hear what was in store for all the workouts to come. Each team will have 6 elite competitors, and when I spoke with some of these athletes, there were teams that are very organized. They're going to be color coordinating their outfits. And then there was another team that says they don't even have a group chat happening yet. It's okay, because afterwards they were able to meet with their groups, strategize a little, because that is what this event is going to come down to. Strategy, communication. All of these athletes, except for Kelsey Kiel, don't have team experience. So we're gonna figure out exactly how these elite athletes do in that environment. As for tonight, athletes will take the floor, and it is all about endurance. It is a 2-scored test. There will be a 5K run for one athlete, then the other athlete will have to accumulate ergs between the ski, the bike, and the rower. It'll be mixed pairs. They will all flow through the workout, and that will cap out day 1 here for FitFest.
3, 2, 1, go!
What's up, everybody? We are preparing for day 2 of FitFest here at the NEC in Birmingham, and you can see there's a lot of stuff happening in here. Although we are covering the elite showcase, there is rowing, there's weightlifting, there's CrossFit, there's so much happening this weekend. But let's get into the action that went down last night with those elite individuals. It was all about endurance, and they had some records that they were chasing. First, it was Team Brandon that stood victorious as the overall best accumulative time from all 6 of their teammates, followed by Team Lawson and then Team Wunger. Looking at the records they were gunning for, Helgadottir and Hopper, they were able to take on the best mixed pair erg time, which in 2023 was 19:03. They were able to finish their ergs in 18:22. As for the best time to beat on the runner, the teams were looking to take on 19 minutes and 50 seconds. No team was able to touch that, but the closest time was from Emma Lawson, Brent Fikowski, which finished in 20:43. Moving on now to today, the second day of competition. These teams are gonna have to take on a 6-person worm. The athlete with the most experience on the worm is Kelsey Kiel, as she has multiple games experience on a team. Also, if you take a look a couple years prior, Vellner also was on a team, but it's been a couple years since he has gone into the team division. So, who is gonna fare well on the worm? A couple athletes were able to talk with Andre Houdet this morning. He was giving them some tips on exactly how to manhandle that worm, especially it's different than a 4-person worm versus a 6. The good thing is, it isn't any heavier than a 4-person worm, so athletes can at least have some confidence in the distribution of weight, but we're gonna see who can communicate, who can get the job done. There is a warm-up area where I'm sure we'll see them practicing, and in between the worm with their teammates, they will be completing legless rope climbs. It's gonna be a fun-packed day. We will check in with you after the event and see what's in store coming up next.
1, go.
The first part of day 2 here at FitFest, and the first event of the day, it all began with a 6-person worm and some legless rope climbs. It was first a race between Team Lawson and Team Brandon, and truthfully, it looked like Team Brandon had it in the bag more than halfway through this workout. But then, as Gazan on Team Wunger hit those legless rope climbs, her speed was no competition to any other athlete on the floor. She rushed back to her worm, and that's when it was the men's turn to start their legless rope climbs. And at this point, Team Wunger was getting closer to Team Brandon. It was then Team Brandon had some miscommunication and got tangled in their worm, and that was the window and opening that Team Wunger needed to seal the deal, crossing the finish line. First team ever, and they took the W. For the second event of the day, it was time for these athletes to get inverted and use a lot of their shoulders. Heavy double unders and handstand walk forward, then in reverse, and then end the workout with handstand walk pirouettes. Right off the bat, you know who we're looking at, Danielle Brandon. She is an incredible athlete, upside down. Her speed is no competition, but Arielle Loewen, she's also a member of Team Brandon, and lucky for these two ladies, they were able to push each other on the competition floor, going neck and neck, and able to seal the deal for the best first and second time finish for the ladies. As we look on the other side of the field where the men were, at the beginning, it was Dallin Pepper and BKG that were able to have a quicker speed of time when they were doing their double unders as well as getting upside down on the forward handstand walks. However, it's when those handstand walks turned backwards, that's when Brent Fikowski and Enrico Zenoni came into the mix. Brent Fikowski's little pirouette, it looks like he has taken some dance classes before, because this man is flawless. Some beautiful technique on that. He crosses the finish line first. As soon as his head looks up, he sees his teammate, Enrico Zenoni. The two of them have a nice little celebration, realizing that they're both on Team Lawson, and earned a couple of points for them in the second event of the day. It's a showcase. We're teaming people up together. Very different format. What has that experience been like so far?
Yeah, for me it's a bit more stressful because there are other guys that rely on my performance, and I need to go well also for them. But I really like the people, so they are super kind, they are super easy with me, and I really like it.
How has doing this during the season or during the off season allowed you to, in some ways, prepare for once the Open starts and we get back into the season?
Yeah, for sure. I know that I've got some weaknesses. I tried to work on them, but I'm still a lot behind the top athletes, like on the strength side and also on the machines. So right now I can see them, how they perform, and I know that I need to work more on those kind of things. On gymnastics I'm good, so I just need to practice, but on the other things I need to work a lot before the next season. So for me it's good to be here and see with my eyes, because if you watch only Instagram, you can't understand everything. When you are on the floor and you see them going really fast on big weights, and you are just like, I need to work more for becoming that strong. So yeah, it's good for me.
First time at FitFest, you're on a team with some of the fittest elite athletes. 16 years old. What does it feel like to be out here?
It's really crazy. I was just talking to Jem before I came out here, and I was like, I'm normally not nervous for team competitions, but like today I'm like kind of nervous. It's like probably because I got Brent Fikowski and Lawson on my team, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been really good. They've all been so nice and welcoming. And I've learned so much just from like the last like 3 events we've done, stuff that I just wouldn't have thought of. And yeah, it's just been so nice to have their intake on stuff and learn everything I can, basically.
2, 1.
with 2 very fast workouts, and each of them would just have half of the athletes from each team. First to take the floor was a nasty couplet of Echo Bike calories and synchro toes to bar. Well, it looked like all of these teams were just going to be separated by a few seconds. Team Wunger, who had Kelsey Kiel, Vellner, and Jelle Hoste, they were able to finish this one sub-7, an incredible time, earning those points for Team Wunger to almost close out the day. And then the remaining athletes who didn't do that first workout, they now were going to go through a relay style of a 500-meter row, 50 synchro empty barbell thrusters, and then finish off with some high skill gymnastics. These teams, they were neck and neck. 2 of the teams getting off the row at the exact same time, and then all 3 teams were hitting the rig at identical times. So who was going to be able to have quicker rep speed on the bar? This time it was Team Lawson with Mathew, McGonigle, Muir. They stood victorious for their team, earning points for Team Lawson to close the night. And now as we head into the final day of competition for the Elite Showcase, we have Team Brandon in the lead, but separated by just a few points, Team Lawson, followed by Team Wunger. All of these athletes, 3 remaining workouts, and they will start the floor this morning with a clean ladder. We'll see who has that speed and who can fare well under the heavy barbells and the pressure. how you would get ready before a competition, but kind of due to the format, there's more flexibility to be able to embrace the culture and the tourists, and kind of speaks to how that's been with the experience.
It's been refreshing, because normally, like, the friends who came with us came to the games as well, and they're like, is this like the games? Will we never see you until Sunday, and then we have dinner together and it's like Arielle's back? And I was like, no, I will actually see you in the evenings. We can actually be tourists and do all the things. So it's been pretty refreshing not to have to focus on, okay, I need food after this workout, I need to recover, eat the right things. It's just like, let's go have mac and cheese for lunch. Great, this is awesome. Just really being a tourist.
The day's format, and you talk about the fans being out here, and even seeing you have opportunities to get done with a workout and then go do meet and greets. I mean, there's no way you could ever do that at the CrossFit Games or Rome. How do you think that adds to, like, the benefit to athletes and being part of the community?
Exactly. And I think about this sometimes because I only go like once a year to the US, and the trip is kind of in and out. Or I mean, after the games I might do couple of days where I go somewhere else, but I'm not amongst the fans, and also not during the competition. So there is really no like time in the season where I get to like mingle with people. So this is a great opportunity for that. And I think it also just, I think, you know, since we're in Europe, I'm from Europe, I think a lot of people appreciate that I'm here, which I like. And you know, just like growing the audience, and you know, I think when people get to know me, I'm a little bit more fun than sometimes I might look like that stone cold Icelandic killer, which I am not.
You are very different off the competition floor, which I think is fun, and it adds to like the fandom of like the fans here being able to follow you and interact with you. Earlier this week, you and I had talked about how Jayson Hopper was going to try to be the king of the team. Has that ended up happening?
Yeah, pretty much. Like we've had to kind of like push him down a little bit. He wants to take control, but Danielle is, you know, she's hard. So she's not. Are we starting?
Okay, let me grab your microphone. Thank you.
Eye of the tiger looking down.
And you don't want to lean forward, you want to make sure you keep upright. Because if you lean forward, the next person is like getting shoved.
Always start with right.
Exactly.
Always
Definitely
pause
right.
at the top.
Always.
Lawson was able to seal the deal for the final event. We brought back the worm. What was different about the communication this time around versus when we saw the worm earlier this week?
Yeah, earlier this week we definitely struggled, or I should say I definitely struggled. I was the one where I couldn't quite get the coordination right. I kept messing it up. But yeah, I think having that practice with it earlier in the week definitely helped us, you know, just like getting better at things takes practice. So yeah, I think we also had a little bit of a better way of communicating through it too. So yeah, we were able to get through that, which is great. So I'm happy.
I'm with Arielle Loewen right now. She is on Team Brandon. Heading into this event, your team was in the lead. It seemed like you had to take either second place or better on this workout to win, but we're still anxiously waiting to see who's won.
We actually almost changed our strategy last minute, but we decided to keep it. Now we're like, we should have changed it, but we'll see if it paid off.
Well, I mean, it is a showcase, but still competitive athletes. How does that add into the mix?
It's funny because at the end of the day, it's a showcase, but at the end of the day, we're like, oh, we just got last place in that workout. That sucks. So there's a little bit of spark competitive nature. Whether we admit it's for fun or not, we all want to just dominate everybody.
Okay, well, good luck. We're going to listen now to see what the results are.
No, thank you.
Team Brandon.
We are now here with the winners of the Elite Showcase from FitFest, Team Brandon, Danielle Brandon herself. Before this workout, you're like, I'm not doing interviews. I'm too nervous right now. There's points on the line. But now listen to the song.
Yeah, we're the winners. We won. I was not too nervous. I was anxious. All right?
Anxious, yes, correction.
Yeah.
What overall was the experience like sometimes that happens, be on a team? Normally these folks are your competitors, but now I'm sure it's added to a different type of bond.
It was fun, yeah. Like, you definitely get this sense of like needing to take care of each other, and you just like genuinely want the best for each other. And it's funny like cheering for my competitors, because I'm really like a savage competitor and don't typically have like as good of friendships with them. And with all of these girls and guys, like I would cheer for them like no matter what.
So how is this going to change when we get to semifinals, the games?
It'll change. It won't be like that. No, I won't want Arielle to beat me in anything. Like, and all the compliments I was throwing her, like, yo, you're mad good at this. Like at semis, it'll be opposite. Like I'll switch up. I'll be like, remember how you're not good at that, right? It'll switch up. It just has to.
But overall, how was this experience for you? Something definitely different to do in the off season.
Yeah, it was very fun. I wish they would bring back 6-person teams, because I think I would definitely do 6-person teams.
You would dabble in it if CrossFit does it?
Absolutely. This event actually made me consider doing teams after my individual career. Yeah.
Okay, strong words from Danielle Brandon.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We just got done with our final event here at FitFest, and man, it was down to the wire. Heading into this final event, those points were close, and we thought that Team Brandon needed to take second place or better in order to stand on top of the podium, but what we found out is that wasn't necessarily the case. Nonetheless, this event, it started with that team 6-person team worm again, and Team Brandon had a little bit of miscommunication, which we thought was going to cost them. But it was Wunger and Lawson. Those were the two teams that were neck and neck through mostly the entire workout until Arielle Loewen and Danielle Brandon got to the ring muscle-ups, made it quickly through the barbell and sandbag work, and then made it on over to their worm. At this point, it was a 3-man race. Team Brandon wasn't able to win this event. It was Team Lawson that was able to take the win. But for your overall winners, Team Brandon was able to still stand on top of the podium. We just want to thank everybody who came out to this event, our first ever Elite Showcase here for FitFest. It was so much fun. The hype was amazing. The spectators were amazing. And of course, the athletes were amazing as well. We hope to see you guys next year.